For almost a century, Robert Montague Renfield has been the servant to the one and only Count Dracula. Renfield is tired of being bossed around by Dracula, however, and seeks to find his independence as his own man. And maybe some redemption too. Dracula isn't too keen on this idea, however, and when a local crime family encounters the Count, Renfield must face his biggest monster before the world does. This is the Renfield! Ah! Renfield is a new horror comedy from director Chris McKay, and stars the one and only Nicolas Cage as Count Dracula. I would have loved to have seen the pitch for this movie. Nicolas Cage as Dracula. You got your money. I would have suggested it be the restart of the Dark Universe, but hey, that's just me. Because if we look at another questionable cinematic universe, Renfield is the exact thing Morbius should have been. A pretty frickin' awesome action horror comedy. Like, I was not expecting the action of this movie to be as good as it was, but wow. Leading this film is Nicholas Hoult as Robert Montague Renfield. A quick look at Nicholas Hoult's film resume made me realize he's played a lot of unhinged characters. Beast from the X-Men films, Hux from Mad Max Fury Road, and because I feel like he deserves it, the guy from The Menu. To my surprise, however, his performance as Renfield is quite reserved. He's a very quiet and timid guy, and he knows he has this curse and this horrible life to live. He doesn't enjoy the life he has at all, and Nicholas Hoult does a great job at conveying that, and the character of Renfield is a really sympathetic one. And this awful life Renfield has is owed to Count Dracula, played by Nicolas Cage. There are two Nicholases in this movie. That's interesting. And Nicolas Cage is having the time of his life playing Count Dracula. This seems like a role he's been wanting to play forever, and he is loving every second of being one of the most iconic embodiments of evil ever. And the supporting cast of Awkwafina and Ben Schwartz added a lot to the film, a lot more than I expected. And I guarantee you, Ben Schwartz enjoyed playing his character as much as Nicolas Cage enjoyed playing Dracula. Now, what do I mean when I say this film is exactly what Morbius should have been? Exactly what you think I mean? It is an awesome, violent, vampire action superhero movie. There are some top-notch kills in this movie. The film is not necessarily an action movie. It definitely takes a while to get going to the action points, but once it starts going, it's a riot. I never thought I'd want the director of the Lego Batman movie to direct a Mortal Kombat movie, but hey, here we are. Now, I definitely want to talk about the film's themes and subtext. I guess subtext is only a thing you can call if it's being subtle. It's not. The relationship Dracula and Renfield have in this movie is akin to something you've probably seen before in Joker and Harley Quinn, Mr. Burns and Smithers, and Bert and Ernie, plus or minus any sexual tension. And this film frames Renfield as the victim and Dracula as the abuser. And to be honest, that's a great way to frame these characters. And I completely understand if some people are put off by that framing. And no, I'm not gonna go out here and say this film handles abuse perfectly, especially one starring Nicolas Cage as Dracula. So I'm just gonna look at the movie as a movie. And I think framing these characters like this is a really smart direction. And I think it works phenomenally for this film. Renfield has a great character arc throughout this movie, and Count Dracula is a prime asshole. Their relationship in the film is compelling, but at the same time, it's fantastical enough to not come off as distasteful to any real-world abuse victims. It's definitely a weird angle to go for a movie, but it's set up that really pays off. It just tells a really good story about a victim overcoming his monster. I will admit, this film may be a bit too short for its own good. Once the film does get going, it feels practically over, which kind of sucks to me. Even the Mario movie had a better pace, and that was like everyone's biggest problem with that movie. The pace isn't movie ruining by any means, but it was definitely noticeable in some scenes, especially in like the second act. And this is an entirely personal thing, but I really wish this movie was in black and white. That would have looked so cool. A huge missed opportunity, second only to Universal not releasing this in October. What were they thinking? But I was still a really big fan of this film. The entire cast is great, the action scenes are a thing of dreams, and the story is as compelling as it is entertaining. I highly recommend you take a bite out of this one. Now, I don't normally do star ratings, but I think I will for this one.
First, a little warm-up. Ah, yes. Now...
1 star, 2 stars,
Oh, the suspense is killing me.
3 stars,
Oh, when will we get to know the number of the day? Oh.
4 stars,
Yes, 4 is the number of the day. Ha ha. Oh, look, here's 4 honkers.
I hope you all enjoyed this review, and if you did, please consider hitting that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Oh, and by the way, check out the website. But until next time, I am Quinn Dunaway, hoping you will keep it cinematic.